Hello and welcome to class. My name is Cindy Shelton and I'll be your instructor for this course. So I wanted to show you around the online version of your applied math class and how I would anticipate you interacting with the class. I'm sure I'll forget to tell you something, so please let me know if you have any questions. Alright, so here we go. So I'm on the ACTC homepage and I'm going to go. You can go to current students. I'll show you how I go. Same thing, I'm sure you get to my path and there is a Blackboard link. You may have another way that you get there, but that is one way to get to Blackboard. When you go to Blackboard, you should see courses along the left, and all of your current courses should come up. If they do not, go up here to the drop down and find your whatever semester you're looking for. Alright, so we're looking at Applied Math Online, your Z1 section, and along the left hand side of the screen we can see Blackboard Collaborate. That's one place. Let me show you that. You can get into a course room and we can interact. If you have questions, we can meet there and I can tutor you or interact and find out what questions you have about the course. So I wanted you to know that that's an option. If you haven't used that before, that's where it's located. Join a session, and I can save the recordings of anything that we do there. I didn't mean to get you in there, but cancel. Oops. Okay. But anyway, I can get in there and we can work together and with the other classmates as well. Okay, also announcements. I'll use this tab. This is where you can see all the announcements for the course. I will send you things from email, but then I will also send them, save them as announcements so that you will have a handy place to see all of our communications, official communications, things that I'll send you kind of during the week to remind you about. All right, then over here in our mainframe, our tabs, the first tab is just general course information. Navigating the course, that's where I'll save this video. Once I'm finished with this, I will save it to this link, so you can always go back and see if you're like, oh, what did she say about this or what did she say about that through the navigation video. Please just watch it again, and again, if you have any further questions, just send me an email. Let's look at the syllabus and course calendar. I think this is probably the most helpful document is for you organizers out there to see the daily, weekly schedule, what's expected each week. So I have each week lined out for you in this course, and what's due is on the end, so that's going to be your real important piece right there to know that you have something due each week in this class. So you need to be aware of that, and this is one of the places you can see that information. The syllabus quiz, just go ahead and take it now if you want. You can take that sooner the better. It's just a simple way for me to say, hey, did you read your syllabus? Do you acknowledge the syllabus statements? And it has a few other short questions, but nothing too heavy there. I just like to know you're there and you're following the directions. So everybody does need to take that syllabus quiz as soon as possible. Then you get to the work. Chapter 1 is the first chapter, right? And seems normal. There's 3 sections in chapter 1 that we cover, and then the due date is Monday the 24th, Monday midnight, Eastern time. So all of my due dates, except for a couple of exceptions, but our weekly assignments are due on Monday midnight. And so you'll see that listed along in the weekly schedule. Every Monday midnight you have something due. Okay, I said there was an exception. So the exception to that would be your midterm exam and your final exam. Those have specific due dates. So just be aware of that. You can take it earlier. Everything here you can see is open and available. You can take it ahead of time. I encourage you to do so. Try to stay ahead of those due dates. But these due dates are just last day, the absolute last day things are due. So try to do better than that and don't push it up to that due date. So the midterm can be taken on a Monday, but it is due on a Friday the 23rd of October. And then the other exception is your final exam. It is due December the 10th. That's a Thursday midnight. And I did make a note here. I wanted to talk to you about this. This exam must be proctored. Nothing else in the course has that listed. Nothing else is to be proctored. We may take a practice proctored if you want to do that, just to make sure you're comfortable with that setting. But proctoring means somebody is going to observe your test. Now, because of the pandemic, we are not meeting in person. Our proctoring centers are closed across the state. So we're going to do it differently. Everything's like that right now. We're doing this differently. So your proctored exam will access your webcam on your computer. So you do need to make sure either you're using a laptop. Those already naturally have a webcam and things built in. But if you're using a desktop, you may have to borrow or purchase a webcam so that so it can observe your testing from home. And this is a free software. I'll talk to you more about that in another link. But I just like you to know that that is a thing that will be required in the course, a proctored final exam. Your midterm exam is not so. Like I said, everything else you take at your own freedom without anybody looking over your shoulder, and I hope you'll do that with honor and dignity, and learn and be excited to engage with this material and want to do it all on your own and learn it. So but the final, I do actually creep on you a little bit and watch you take that one. But like I said, the midterm, not so. You can take that on your own. And you have 2 attempts on the midterm. So after you finish your Chapter 7 work, as you can see in the schedule, and you work through the entire study guide and practice the study guide, take notes on the study guide, and you're all ready to take the midterm exam, you will take that on your own and get a second attempt, even if you find you want to do better, if you don't get the your desired score, we'll say. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to tell you about there. Okay, and then of course there is the syllabus, kind of like the rules and regulations for the class. The other one's the tempo and the timing. So here you'll find, and read all of this please, how to get a hold of me. This is my email address, and that is probably my preferred method of communication. I do check my email. It's because I have a smartphone like a lot of people do, and I've got my email on my smartphone, so I'm more responsive there. I will see that immediately, probably wherever I am, any time of day or not. So I can check my email a lot easier. So that's the fastest way to get a response from me, but I have other contact information as well. So I give myself 24 hours on weekdays, and then on the holidays and weekends, I might be hiking or something and away from my email, but I'm usually pretty good about checking my email and getting right back to you. But this is my promise, within 24 hours if it's a normal workday, weekday. All right, and other information, read all of that. Like I said, I wanted to show you, point out the grading policies and the proctoring. So this is a little more information if you want to read up about that. The KCTCS has purchased Proctoria proctoring software, so that will be our method for observing you when you take your final exam, and you may be doing that in other KCTCS classes if they require proctoring. And we can talk more about that later, but I wanted you to see where that was at in your course. Okay, next up, Syllabus Quiz. As promised, there's a Syllabus Quiz I ask you to take. It opens in a new window. It is in the MyLabs Math Pearson product that you paid a little bit for in your tuition pricing, and that's why you didn't need to buy a textbook, because it was already bundled into your course fees. But that allows us to use this website, Pearson's MyLab Math. So it does open in another window. So that's that. I have all of your assignments linked within Blackboard, you'll notice. But, okay, and there's some other links there. But you can also, in a main tab here, MyLab Math is also a link to this other website. So here we can access all of your assignments. You can see them all at once. Again, opens in another window, another platform. There's your syllabus quiz, and notice the due dates are also listed here for you to be aware of. There are chapter notes before each assignment. These are your textbook links, the textbook notes, and then some videos. That's very helpful. I want you to be aware of that. Let's see, I was going to show you the assignments again. Sorry. Then 1.1 is your homework, your first official, I would say, homework where you engage with the math. There are 10 questions on that assignment, and then you move on and so on. So that shows you all the assignments in one place. Also, the e-text, you can click here and it will access the book in its entirety, so you can page through and read that. I encourage you to do that. And then the third link I have here is your grade book. So this is where you can always know your grade in the class. It's continually updated as you work through the material. You'll see your overall score shows up in that circle. So you should always know your grade in this course. And then a few other links. So that is the main tab if you want to go directly to the website. But I probably prefer that you do it in the modules. But to see your grades, you'll need to go to that tab. But as far as doing your homework, here's how I'd like that to look for you. So you go to Module 1, and Module 1 is Chapter 1, the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and Section 5.6. There's 4 sections in Module 1. I've tried to break them up into chunks there for you. And then it has the goals for this section. And then the first thing you would do to engage with the math is click on Chapter 1 and 5.6 Notes and Videos. And I've tried to make that real noticeable here. Start here by printing the included notes and watching the accompanying videos. This is really just like attending in person, almost just like, I should say. These are the notes I would pass out in class if you were here in person. So I would like for you to either save those to your desktop, but be aware, I do expect you to follow along. These are the notes that I would lecture from. So these are my personal notes. And like I said, in the other, I mentioned earlier, those are the textbook. They're both good, but these are probably what I would consider the more critical because they're specific to how I lecture for your material. So I would print that off or save it and follow along, and then I have a video lecture just like if you were in class. This is what I would have said to you when I went through this section. It's just a little less interactive where you're not there to raise your hand and say, hey, wait, stop, but you can pause the video, which is nice. So these are the videos that go along with those notes. And that's, let's see where that would end. They're about 15-minute videos. I've tried to keep them a little shorter, and that's why it looks like there's so many, but they're shorter. And then there's some just miscellaneous videos from other semesters where I did review sessions that may supplement that. So they're like bonus material, but you'll be able to tell they're a little older. These are my more current videos that go with my notes that I expect you to follow along. So that is the prescribed way to navigate through my course and be successful. After you do the notes and the videos, take your own notes, make good notes on that, kind of get the understanding for the material. Then you start on the homework. So there's the links that I mentioned before that go into a new window, and there's those 10 questions I expect you to work over Section 1.1. And then we go to 1.2, 1.3, 5.6, Quiz 1. So in order of the material that I lecture on. Then we go to the next module, and it looks just the same. You've got notes and videos, and then homework and a quiz. Module 3, algebra, same old, same old. So they all follow that pattern. That's how I expect you to do that, and that's how I've designed it with your success in mind. So if you have any questions about that, or if you have a better method that's working for you, you know, I'm not averse to hearing about that. I just want to know, talk to me about how I can best help you. Okay, what else do I want to tell you? So we have these due dates for the course. And like I said, you can work ahead. But if you do fall behind 1 week, you have, and this is in the syllabus, you can ask for an extension. So one time during the semester, if you do fall behind, send me an email and say, I just can't get this Monday's deadline met. Now, you can't do it for your midterm or your final, but just one of your weekly assignments if you fall behind. Do send me a note and request that one extension. All right, I think that's everything I can think of. I'm sure, like I said, I forgot something that maybe you'll have a question about. So please send me an email, introduce yourself, and let me know if you have any questions. And I would just wish you the best success this semester, and I'm here for you as needed.